Hello everyone, I am the plane shifter phasing to the universe of Final Fantasy XIV. I remember to start recording at first time today. Whoa, I can't believe I'm forgetting that. And let's hope I don't accidentally press anything outside the screen this time. Oh my goodness, why am I so all over the place these days? Anyway, he is Lahee Eshkree. And we are here at the Botanist Guild because we wanted some guidance on how to pluck an ivy. Okay. Silliness aside, we need to go speak with Eobird. Wait, you're missing something. Hey, my thanks for coming, Scion. Doubtless the commander has informed you, but we have unmasked the ivy. That's why I'm here. From this point on, we must proceed with extreme caution. I'm gonna take this thing. Yeah. Listen well. The spy we have been seeking out this time is none other than Flame Marshal Eorzea, Rauban's second in command. What? Prior to joining the Immortal Flames, she was a mercenary of no small renown. They say her skills with a polearm had to be seen to be believed. Of Ishgardian birth, she is the highest ranked foreigner in the Immortal Flames, barring the Flame General himself, of course. When he formed the Grand Company, Rauban chose people based on their worth. Hence they held was of no interest. The monitors saw things differently, however. Have founded the enterprise, they reserve the right to reject candidates nominated for high-ranking positions. And it was no secret that they did not favor foreigners. Guardians especially, after the way the Holy See forsook the Alliance. Yet the monitors did not raise so much as a murmur to protest when Royale was appointed to her post. Passing strange, is it not? Could it be that the Ivy was that the Ivy has some hold over the monitarists? But these revelations are secondary to our current mission. Of foremost interest to us is Royale's presence here now. As you may be aware, it is the duty of the Flame Marshal to command the Immortal Flames, in the absence of the Flame General. While Ralban attends the council of the Alliance leaders, she should have remained in the Hall of Flames. The woman has no business being Gridania, yet here she is nonetheless. On some pretense, she is up to something. Mark my words. Even as we speak, I have a dozen men trailing the flames, records for evidence of Royale's guilt. But if we can catch her red-handed, we shall have all the proof we need. Which brings me to the plan. I have people watching the city gates, the airship landing, and the docks, every point of egress. She cannot leave without our knowledge. All that remains is to shadow her until she betrays her true purpose. Can I rely upon your eyes, Scion? My eyes are you to see, I mean. Well, whatever. You get my meaning. You have my thanks. Let's go then. And take care not to alert our quarry. It's be tough to remain hidden. As you know, I'm very tall. I think I passed it over. Where is he? Oh, on the Aetherite platform. Do you need to be on one of the potentially most busy areas of the entire city? Believe me, there are days that this place is so filled with people. Royale is headed in the direction of the Blue Badger Gate. With me, Scion. A bunch of crystal braves just dotted around. I'm just a barrow. So Royale has entered the Carline canopy, meeting someone perchance? Or could it be she meant to board an airship? Pray look for her within. If she's not on the upper floor, try the landing area below. One of mine is stationed there, and she may have seen something. If Amy is her name, I shall remain here in case Royale reappears. Have you found a royal pen? Lahee Eshkree, such an unexpected pleasure. What brings you here? A social visit, you say? How pleasant. No, she didn't come this way. I've noted every passenger and none bore any resemblance. Well, don't let me keep you. Not here, huh? She wasn't down there. Nowhere to be seen, you say? And you are sure she did not board an airship? She did not come back out either. Where in the hell she even could she even have gone? The roost! How could I forget? Greetings, good sir. Might interest you in some Montour tonic? A cup a day imbues a man with great figure, if you take my meaning. Perhaps another time, friend. Well, that necklace, you are a shinobi of Doma. The woman you seek has left Britannia by way of West Shore Pier. She was attired as a merchant, but these eyes are not so easily deceived. You may wish to take your search to the East Shroud. Rest assured that we shall continue to support you from the shadows. Thank the 12 for the Domans. Were it not for the unique talents, Royale would have disappeared without a trace. In flagrante delicto. Gilbert is eager to resume the pursuit of Helene Royale. Our hunt leads us to the East Shroud, Scion. I suggest we follow Royale's example and take the ferry from Watcho Pier. You doubtless wish to make certain preparations. See to them while I go on ahead. I shall wait at you at Sweet Plum Pier. Sweet Plum, you say? Very well. Turn this out. Needs to make this way a lot. We second unit braves are in Gridania on a special security detail. Any suspicious activity will be swiftly nipped in the bud. There's an entire IV escaping your notice, but whatever. I guess we are not supposed to grab her yet. This way, my friend. This way, my friends. That's Yogiri. Your quarry makes for the Hawthorne Hut. If Royale is truly the one you seek, you can expect that she means to make contact with her Garlean masters there. An explanation is in order. You are no doubt aware that the Guardians have their own method of communication over great distances. Well, our ingenious friends at Garland Ironworks have provided us with devices that disrupt these communications, and they have installed them around the city-states. In so doing, we have made it difficult for Imperial agents to correspond with their masters. Royale would thus have no choice but to rendezvous with her Imperial contact directly. Yet, as well known in face of the immortal flames, she cannot move about tunneling without being recognized. It would only be a matter of time before somehow saw through her disguise. It is for this reason, I believe, that she has chosen the Black Shroud for her clandestine meeting. The Elezen are a common sight here, and her comings and goings are not like to turn any heads. As my scouts tell it, the Guardians have agents with a mind to destroy the devices and render such direct contact unnecessary. Fortunately, our shinobi had thus far been successful in rebuffing their efforts. This is it. We need only to make for Hawthorne's hurt and catch Royale in the act. Why are you wasting time? Let's do this. If Royale was here, she is no more. We have no choice but to continue the pursuit. What happened? My people report that our quarry has departed for the bramble patch. The ivy returns to the north when she came, but perhaps it is all for the better. To convict someone of her standing, we will require damning evidence against her. What could be better than to catch her in the act when she meets with her Galleon masters? My countrymen and I shall lie in wait in the shadows. Tread warily, my friends. Brambles. Just beyond, Royale is in conversation with an individual clad in the manner of an adventurer. An imperial intermediary, no doubt. This is it. With me. Flame Marshal Eileen Royale, you are under arrest for treason and espionage. You were followed, you bloody fool. Damnation. You are unarmed, my lady, and scarcely garbed for battle. But if you wish to fight, you are welcome to try. What is the meaning of this, Captain? Would you arrest me for strolling in the Heavensward? When last I looked, that was no crime, and neither was conversing with passing strangers. You would feign ignorance then? Very well. If you think of something to say, there will be plenty of time to say it later. Now, come quietly or I shall make you wish you had. I offer you no struggle. After all, I have naught to hide. Yeah, that guy was acting very suspicious. Even a warrior of Hoyal's renown could not have hoped to escape by force. Despite her claims, her surrender does not bespeak innocence, but an unawareness to her position that her position is untenable. With the Hive tools uprooted, it is to be hoped that the tendrils she entwined around the immortal flames will gradually wither and die. Mayhap then the people of Uda will have the grand company they deserve. But let us speak of the present, if I may ask. What will you do now, Lahee? Probably return to the Waking Sands, have a talk with Eorzea. The science you seek, so the science seeks a way into the Ice Heart Sanctum. That too. Then I dare say you are eager to return to the Rising Stones. Pray, do not let me keep you. Fear not, my countrymen and I shall tend to the aftermath. You need not waste your talents here. And speaking of your talents, have you considered training in the art of the shinobi? You have the aptitude for it, I believe, so please give it some thought. Till next time, my friend. If you are a ninja, this text is different. Speak with the Minfilia. But as I mentioned, before that, let's return to the rising, to the Waking Sands. He's still having problems with the attack, okay? The king leaves. I think that's a harder version of the King Mogul Mogul. World of a Time, that's for Leviathan. I'm not unlocking these. Not now. As one age ended and another doth arise, those strokes wax and wane, but those two asks for me. And what of the primals? I thank thee, Lahee, by thy hands the might primals brought low once more. Thy victories have purchased the realm of freedom, those terrible beings would surely have denied by their mere presence. What of the expedition? With Bahamut's punishment to the Ether, the seventh Umbral era is come to an end in suit. In the abyssal depths of the dread primal does man, and so this cast light upon the truth of Eorzea's rebirth. Yet, until such time as lasting peace doth visit the realm, that knowledge must needs remain locked inside our hearts. And though the veil had been lifted from many and more mysteries, the haze which shrouded the people's memory of the calamity yet eluded explanation. I have formed theories which I would share with thee if thou art willing to listen. When the combined might of the 12 failed to contain Bahamut, Master Luisoa mustered what strength remained to him and entrusted our hope into the future. This is my belief that he invoked the power of the Keeper and sent the Eorzea's champions to a place outside of time, beyond the reach of Primal's wrath, thinking whence they rightly existed, these individuals did leave behind a rent in the fabric of reality. At the self-same juncture, Master Luisoa struck down Bahamut, thus triggering the realm's dramatic regeneration. The occurrence of these events in rapid succession, I theorize, gave rise to the people's clouded recollection of the calamity. Alas, there is no way to restore these lost memories. Let it be enough that the Seventh Umbral era is truly over, and the people may finally turn towards a brighter future, assured in the knowledge that the new order of light walketh within them. How far is the realm? Mortal souls linger not, but are borne away to the ethereal sea. Such is the journey that doth await us all. The truth seems but the paragons, who presume to set themselves outside the natural circle of life. Yet their immortality layeth not beyond challenge, which in a prison of ether might the body Alsatian be caged, and by ethereal blade to slay. Our victor doth lie in the mastery of intangible tools. Upon the anvil of shared knowledge shall my fellow Charlians and I forge these implements of Yassian's demise. But I must counsel thee patience. 'Tis an endeavor for which no lesson from history can be drawn. And nothing about that Great Serpent you found while searching for other things? I'm afraid not, my friend. Even though, and I have not time to look at upon thus. Your request thus far? That's okay. We've been busy lately. Would it not be Leviathan, your query? No, not really. Leviathan was summoned just recently, and I have been having those dreams for a while. Even on periods that I can confirm it was not, Leviathan was not summoned. Also, the serpent in my dreams asks for help. Leviathan came to deliver help. Things don't match. So yeah, the search continues. But anyway, thanks for the talk. I have business in the Rising Stones. See you. Should I summon Carbuncle? Arousing tales of a comrade's valor. Truly you are fortunate to count on Lady Yugiri as a friend. Tankard tales of Lady Yugiri almost beggar belief. My heart is fair-faced to burst from admiration. Yes, but Higiri, you're not... you're missing the point. The individual doesn't matter. It was a team effort, and I was the one who She cannot seriously be considering it. Life as a street performance should be one's last resort, not their first. The title has grown beyond childish fantasies of becoming a songstress. Now she aspires to be a legendary street performer. Steady, not bad, huh? With a little more practice, I could earn a fortune at the Ruby Road Exchange. That's an axe, a knife, and a bottle. I mean, impressive. actually quite impressive. What's going on in there? I could do this all day. RLLDAY. I cannot go on much longer. Strain, hurry! On your honor as a scion, I forbid you to surrender. I must admit, this exercise of yours never fails to amuse me. While its movements appear comical, it does seem to be having the desired effect. It's a battle of wills, a struggle of supremacy. Our fighting styles may differ, but this unwielding spirit is the same in warriors the world over. Should I exercise my carbuncle summoning? Let's see who's gonna win this. My money's on Ida. Sorry, Hori. Most of the Braves are afield. Much closer to finishing this patch than I thought. Welcome back, Lahee. I understand that Alfino had a task for you. May I ask what it was? Following him around and charges of treason and espionage against Lahee Royale? I can scarce believe it. Could there not have been some manner of misunderstanding? No, it avails not to dwell on it. Whatever the truth may be, we must trust the authorities to uncover it. Let us speak of another matter. I am pleased to report that we have made progress in our efforts to find a way into Iceheart's sanctum. No, I wasn't close to finish this. This keeps going. Minfilia has never been one to hesitate when it comes to asking others for aid. A simple plan. As you may recall, Iceheart used the Aetherite in the depths of Snowcloak to teleport a short distance to the west, most likely to a sanctuary of some description. It is there that we suspect she means to summon Shiva, using the crystals she stole from the House for Tom caravan. Oh. Sorry. The heretics believe that they are bringing about the second coming of their patron saint, but if, as we suspect, they mean to hold a summoning ritual of the kind employed by the beast tribes, it seems likely the result will be something more akin to a primal. Suffice it to say, they must be stopped, and stopped then we shall. But first, we must surmount the obstacle that Iceheart has placed in our path. Ordinarily, it would be a simple matter to tap into the established Ethernet and thereby follow our quarry. However, despite our best efforts, we have been unable to ascertain the position of the Aetherite to which she teleported. Our prevailing theory is that she destroyed the second Aetherite upon arrival, a reckless, desperate measure, but also an effective one. After discussing the matter at length with Yuri and Jer, we have concluded that we lack the expertise to develop a solution. Which is why we have called upon the aid of one who does possess such expertise, a colleague of yours who is currently en route to Revenant's 2, from Charlian. She should be arriving within the hour, in fact. Since you are here, mayhap we could welcome her together. I am certain that she would appreciate the gesture. Let us make our way to the northern gates and await her coming. Could that be that cryo that they keep mentioning? Oh, they're still going. She is still going. Tancred is still going. Everybody's still going. Let me go as well. What manner of woman is she, I wonder? We have spoken before of your link pearl, of course, but it's not the same. Oh, it's not cryo? Okay.
Minfilia, am I right?
None other. I bid you welcome to Revenant's Toll, and thank you for traveling so far on such short notice.
As if I could ever say no to Eorzea.
Moonbreeder is an accomplished Sharlayan scholar, and an authority on aetherite technologies. She has played an invaluable role in our search for a means to capture Ascian souls.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Indeed, nice to meet you. For an outpost in an ether-rich wasteland, this place is a good deal livelier than I expected. Just goes to show that you never know until you know. Indeed. Let us return to the Rising Stones at once. Then we have much to discuss. She knows the engine. I should not be surprised. Is that Tupsimati on the wall back there? I'm amazed you managed to find all the pieces after, well, you know.
Moon! Gods, it's been ages!
Oh, longer, sister.
A joyous reunion indeed.
Well, of course it is. Moon and I are like twin sisters.
I can see the resemblance.
Save in appearance and aptitude.
Everyone, if I could have your attention. We have with us an esteemed guest who has come from Sharlayan to assist us. I bid Moonbreeder join us here that she might share with us her extensive knowledge of Aetherites. Also, as many of you are already aware, she has been overseeing our research into white Auracite, a sample of which she has been good enough to bring with her.
Well, I had to come, didn't I? You'd have to be bloody daft to turn your nose up at a chance like this. Where better to conduct my final tests than a land so steeped in ether you can taste it?
'Tis plain the passage of the years hath done little to dampen thy youthful spirits. And nothing at all to reform thy youthful manner.
Oriange, where in the hells have you been hiding?
Unhand me.
I come all this way, and that's what you have to say to me. I much preferred when you were pleading with me to drop everything and hurry to your side. What was it you said? None save thee can satisfy this need.
Go on.
I'm curious too.
Thine artless attempts to misrepresent mine all too innocent motives do thee little credit. Mine intent, as well thou knowest, was but to impress upon thee the gravity of the circumstance. Lest thou doubt, a deiform entity shall shortly be summoned, save if thou and no other grantest my compeers thine aid.
You still haven't found it then, your missing Aetherite?
We have not. No. We know that Iceheart teleported to an Aetherite not far from the first. Yet even after careful analysis, we could not locate the second beacon. We now suspect that the heretics destroyed the second Aetherite to impede our pursuit. Our allies continue to scour Snowcloak for Iceheart's sanctuary, but we have no guarantee that they will find it. Yet it must be found, for even now Iceheart prepares to call upon Saint Shiva.
I'm sorry, but if the Aetherite's been destroyed, then that's that. Although, you're absolutely sure she used the first Aetherite, are you? She didn't just use teleportation magics?
One of our own bore witness to her escape. I can say with absolute certainty that Iceheart used the Aetherite.
Saw it myself. She walked up to the
In
thing.
that case, there might be a way, so long as the ethereal current is still flowing.
Truly? How?
We use the current to recreate the beacon. As you know, Aetherites are a bit like lighthouses. We use them to reconstitute our physical forms when crossing the ethereal sea. Without them, we'd lose all sense of direction and our essence would dissipate. However, we don't rely solely on these beacons. There are currents of ether which flow between them, currents which help guide us to our destination. Now, these currents will gradually dwindle away to nothing if an Aetherite is destroyed. But if even a sluggish flow remains, we could theoretically use it to direct a surge of concentrated ether towards the void left by the beacon, and thereby fill it up again.
Like opening the floodgates to fill a dry riverbed. Though, correct me if I'm wrong, but would we not need a veritable reservoir of ether?
In concert, we might manage to channel a sufficient volume, yet that is not my chief concern. To direct the flow of so great a volume of ether with the requisite precision would be a nigh impossible task in itself.
I barely succeeded in facilitating travel to an unattuned beacon. That which you describe sounds considerably more difficult.
And dangerous. Every person who has attempted to teleport in this fashion has died in the process. They, however, did not have wide aura sight at their disposal. I can use it to channel all the ether you can give me into the aetheryte. However, white aura sight cannot retain ether for an extended period of time, so we would need to infuse it immediately beforehand. Just so you know, I'd confidently give this plan better than even odds of success. And if the worst comes to worst, your people won't suffer.
And
Though it risk the lives of our best and brightest, we have not the time to seek other options. If the ethereal current still flows, we shall carry out Moonbreeder's plan.
That's the spirit. Let's roll the dice.
Yeah, that will be on me, right? I'll pretend to smile. Did anything change outside? Ooh, a lot changed outside. The Warenhausen are about to take up their posts. It seems even the children are starting to understand the gravity of the situation. I am ready. Hosen, are your preparations complete? My father has agreed to take care of Yosen for me. The children need role models, and we must do whatever is in your power to provide them. Don't do anything stupid. I shall pray for your safe return, Lahee. Yours and the others. Over the years, I've learned that it's better to busy yourself with things you can control rather than worry about things you cannot. A hot meal will be waiting for you when you return. Understood? Understood. You do not know how much agency I have about my returning now. Quite right, Harry, yet I fear we two alone would not resist a full-scale assault. Mayhap we had best draft a plan of evacuation, should the worst come to the worst. What are you talking about? It falls to you and I, Cotonet, to ensure those Imperial dogs set no foot in the Rising Stones. The tragedy of the Waking Saints must never be repeated. Considering that we have only one door, that, yeah. We need secret doors. The instruments of our deliverance. A plan has been devised, and Minfilia would have it carried out without further delay. I have already informed Alfino of our plan to recreate the beacon in which Moonbreeder described. He agreed that despite the inherent danger, it represents our only hope of success. He also said that he wished to meet with you at Snowcloak before proceeding. Expect you to find him waiting for you there when you arrive? I want you to know that I appreciate everything you have done on our behalf, Lahee, and that I have faith you return to us, as you always have. Moonbreeder is a brilliant and dedicated scholar. I would not have endorsed her plan were it not so. I feel like you're giving me farewells and then a pep talk. And then I go and do it anyway. Snow Cloak. Cortez. To be fair, I think I should just fly there. I'd be faster. The Aetherite is so freaking far away. And the exit to Mordona is... right... I forgot where. Ah. From the same gate Moonbreed arrived. Is that so? No, it isn't. No somber music? Probably because clouds. Or because it's nighttime. It's not a matter of training your eyes, I fear. Without foreknowledge or serendipity, we will never find every tunnel. The very land conspires against us, the broken ice ever reforming to conceal the entrances. Trust in the power of White Arasite, Lahee. And in me, of course. Alright. I see Sir Aymeric already returning to his studies, I guess. Good to see you, Lahee. I was starting to wonder if you were having second thoughts. Oh, I had third and 40 thoughts already. Captain Hubert sends his regards, by the way. He attends to the interrogation of Eileen Royale in Uda even as we speak. But I shall not distract you from the matter at hand. We can discuss the ivy upon your return. I trust that, by which I mean to say, the others are waiting for us at the Aetherite. After you, Scion. Should I help or preserve my strength? I guess I'll preserve my strength. Who knows what will be at the other side? There! It is ready. Ha! It worked! I think. You think? Try returning to the Aetherite now. Feel for the current and try to locate the beacon. Well, easy enough. I think I sensed something. Yes. We have done all we can, Lahee. For now, let us withdraw. When your final preparations are complete, you must seek out the beacon we have created. If, by the grace of the 12, you arrive safely, you must stop Iceheart before she summons Shiva. Understood. Okay. What are you doing there, Carbuncle? I have a mind to join you, but the Ranger made me promise I wouldn't. Apparently the thought of me becoming Shiva's thrall was too much to bear. As if I'd give her the chance. You seem the type that would make Shiva your thrall. Talking about making primal... Thinking about making a primal your thrall. I'll need to talk to Mitra once this nonsense is done. I think I have a few that I could. We cannot ignore the possibility that our actions have alerted Iceheart to our plans. Should that be the case, she may attempt to hasten the completion of the summoning ritual, and if she succeeds, you have little choice but to face Shiva in battle. Knowing little of the saint, I cannot say if your own strength will suffice, and so I would encourage you to call upon your allies. Some may have reservations about wagering their lives on the success of Moonbreeze's experiment, but others will surely agree that desperate times call for desperate measures. Before you assemble your part, pray speak with that knight. I believe he has a message from you, from Sir Imrek. Yes. Sir Imrek regrets that he could not be there in person and asks that I read to you this letter. Oh. Eshkree faces an unprecedented threat. Yet in our hour of need, it's not her knights who stand poised to defend her. Lahee Eshkree, warrior of light, savior of Eorzea, your deeds this day shall not be forgotten. Where others would flee, you choose to remain. Where others would falter, you rise to the challenge. Where others would use their gifts for selfish ends, you wield yours in service to a greater cause. May Halon bless you with good fortune and see you safely home. Oh boy. Time to recruit some people. The Ak-Afa Amphitheater, hard. For as long as their nation has warred with Drevania, there have been Ishigardins who instead chose to ally themselves with the dragons. Shiva is said to have been among the first, hence why the heretics wear her as a saint. That Iceheart and her followers intend to summon Shiva with the crystals they have stolen explain. But is this unprecedented act even possible? If so, then Ishigard, if not the entire realm, is in grave danger. That's an 8-man. Let's do it. Well, time to spend some time. nothing I can do about that. And if you're watching on YouTube and you don't want to watch me doing fates while I wait for the trail to pop, well, you're in luck. You can skip ahead. If you're watching me here on Twitch, which is nobody is actually, we're out of luck. Titan, come back. There you go. Geo, okay. Yeah, I'm glad he didn't keep pushing to finish the patch. Oh, come on, do this. Carve the ether. Still not enough. slow day. Okay, finally have a new recruit in the barracks and don't care. At least not now. That's grindy stuff I'm doing off camera. Oh yes! How about that's the allotted time? Oh! Yeah. Yes. Oh.
You should never have come here, warrior of light. I labor only to forge a lasting peace. A peace you would deny us out of ignorance and blind faith. No matter. If it is our fate to be at odds, then it is mine to strike you down. We whom gods and men have forsaken shall be the instruments of our own deliverance. Partake of my flesh. Fill this vessel with your light. Walk amongst your brothers and sisters once more. Oh, Saint Shiva, still the hatred within our hearts and bless us with eternal grace.
What is she doing? Did she transform? Okay, that's new. How can this ice lady be so hot? That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, take some Ifrit to the face. Ah. No, where is she gone? The Karn got stepped. Maybe he wants a commendation. Why not? Got a gazillion commendations. That was a neat trick, but not enough.
Fool. Blind, bloody fool. You, of all people, should understand the suffering war begets. That no sacrifice is too great if it brings an end to the violence. Mine is the righteous cause.
To be completely honest,
You fight in a war you do not understand. A
Yep.
pawn of liars and schemers.
I'll be the judge of that.
And they are no less ignorant than you. Following the creed of their fathers without question, never thinking to ask why. Trapped in a delusion of their own creation, and blind to the truth. Warrior of Light, redemption is not beyond us.
But they're talking about redemption.
We who walk before may lead those who walk after. Seek the Keeper of the Lake. See with eyes unclouded.
The Keeper of the Lake?
Do not squander Mother's gift.
How old are she?
Feel. Think.
What? Do Heidelin speaks to her? This is getting weird and what? She teleported.
And so the vessel withdraws, a predictable outcome. Nevertheless, Lahee will be pleased. How unfortunate.
Oh boy, do I have a story to tell you all? By the 12, you're alive! I mean, of course you're alive. Why wouldn't you be? Well, I did have to contend with the primal and a not so sure method of teleportation. Iceheart did what? And you are certain about that, are you? The Revenues are skilled with glamours after all. Oh no, there was no glamour. Look, if you say that's what you saw, I believe you. It's just that I've never heard of a primal being summoned like that before. You and me both. Are you sure you're not injured? Head trauma has been known to cause hallucinations, you see? No? Fair enough. I was only asking. Yeah, no, fair. The road less traveled. Moonbreeder remains unconvinced that you have not sustained a head injury. If you ask me, there is naught to be gained from mulling over the implications of your story in the freezing cold. Let's save it for the Rising Stones, huh? I'll get everyone to meet us there. That's good. Ah, but before that, you had best pay a visit to Whitespring Front and speak with Alfino. He's probably worried sick about you. That, or he's busy playing at politics with the Guardians. Either way, I'm sure he'll be delighted to see you hell and health. See, speaking of which, you don't have a headache or anything, do you? No? Blurred vision? Oh, no reason. See you again soon. See you. Thanks for the concern, to be honest. Alright, Alfino in white bring. Roger that. He's probably both worried about me and playing at politics, while disguising not being worried about me. Oh. That you stand here now is proof of your mission success. Praise be to alone. It is customary to report to one's commanding officer after completing a mission. I still remember the first time you entered these chambers. Suffice it to say, I never imagined that I would one day be so glad of your return. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. Thank you. There he is, and none worse for wear, was there ever any doubt that the Warrior of Light would succeed? Oh, there were plenty. I think I speak for us all when I say that I should like nothing more than to hear the stirring tale of your victory, if you would be so kind. Well, sit it down, the sun is a doozy. Then we were too late to prevent the summoning. But not too late to prevent further loss of life. An outcome worth of celebration. And one for which we have Lahee to thank. Yes, you are right, of course, Sir Aymeric. We should be content with what we have accomplished. I, for one, could not have wished for a better outcome. Shiva is no longer a threat, and the heretics have been routed. I wouldn't be so sure. Aye, there is a mother of Iceheart's escape, but she cannot run forever. Whether it takes days, weeks, months, or even years, my knights will find her. In the meantime, Lord Drillemont, is the caravan ready? The supplies that your men recovered have been prepared for transport, in accordance with your wishes. Rest assured that my knights will see them safely to Revenant's stall. Of that I have no doubt. I take these are the self-same supplies the heretics stole from the house for Tom caravan? Last the crystals which comprise the bulk of the shipment, yes. Scarcely a fraction of what which was promised, but a meaningful contribution to your cause all the same. Oh, on an unrelated note, Lahee, might it trouble you to accompany me to Camp Dragonhead at your earliest convenience? It is not for my benefit. A certain lord was most distressed when he learned of your intent to risk life and limb to stop Iceheart. I took half dozen knights to restrain him, I'm told. Okay. Men give vent to their anxieties in a myriad of ways. Pray do not think less of him. Huh? Yeah, that's something. I trust you will not discuss the events which transpired at Snowcloak too openly. The heretic's dead, and the lords of the high houses know of your deeds. That's what it matters. I'm not gonna mess with your politics. The ones I have to mess with are complicated enough, and it's not all that much, to be honest. I didn't mean to land. I was taking the time of the flight to grab water. If our business here is concluded, we should attend to Sir Imeric in the intercessory. I heard you were somewhat worried. What were you thinking, Lahee? Questioning your very being on a dubious theories which might allow you to enter Iceheart Lairs, knowing full well that she could have sufficient forewarning to complete her ritual to summon Shiva anyway? I mean, the Bard needs to write about me. And then engaging the abomination in mortal combat? By the fury, Lahee, this is the stuff of ballads. A battle for the ages. What would I had been there to fight by your side? You would be thrown to Shiva. Yet here I was forced to wait, condemned to wonder at the fate of a dear friend for a veritable eternity. I would not wish such torture on my most hated enemy. You try to refrain on doing deeds of daring to overmatch. But you are here now, and that's what truly matters. Let us move on. Sir Imeric wished to have words with you and Master Alfino in private. He waits us in the intercessory. Very well. Pray go ahead without me, Lahee. Another matter requires my attention, but I shall join you anon. Greetings, sir. I shall show you in at once.
On behalf of the Holy See of Ishgard, allow me to express my deepest thanks. Never before have we been required to contend with a primal. Indeed, there were fears in some quarters that our knights might not be equal to the task. From what we have now learned of these beings, I can say with certainty that we would have lost a great many men had the Scions not intervened.
Then the argument for preemptive action should be self-evident. Perchance now you will reconsider my proposal that Ishgard move against Natalan.
Ere we first met, a similar proposal was tabled, but the Holy See decreed that we were to observe, and that military action should be taken only in self-defense. All things considered, it was not an unreasonable decision. Since the calamity, 2 vigils have fallen to the Horde, while Garuda has never shown any inclination to storm the gates of judgment. Which is why this unprecedented crisis and its resolution may prompt a change in policy. You who have faced these primals know well the threat they pose. Ishgard did not. Not until now. And there is naught like a brush with death to change a man's outlook.
At the very least, this should silence any lingering objections to our arrangement with Revenant's Toll. The Holy See may even feel moved to grant us its formal endorsement.
So far as it is possible, the Scions shall be compensated for their service.
We should be grateful for any aid you can provide.
As a gesture of good faith, I shall withdraw my previous request. Your people are doubtless needed elsewhere.
That will not be necessary. We too have a vested interest in watching Dravania's movements.
I see. Once more, I must thank you.
Sir Emeric, if I may, do you truly believe that Midgardsormr could return?
The heavens are a window unto truth, but those who interpret their movements are not infallible. I requested your involvement as a precautionary measure.
But of course, you sought an excuse to compensate us from the first, mindful of what would happen if Revenant's toll were taken by your enemies. Ishgard is not wont to aid its neighbors, but that does not preclude it from manipulating them to serve its own interests.
Choose your next words carefully.
Do you know what sort of man becomes Lord Commander of the Temple Knights? One who comes from good stock. I did not. Yet here I am. Now, why do you suppose that is? Because I swiftly learned to tell the difference between words, deeds, and beliefs. You are correct, Master Leveilleur. Ishgard desires to see Revenant's toll flourish, as it would present a troublesome obstacle to our enemies from the south.
We are so glad to be of use to you.
As we are to you. Ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement, lest we forget. One born of necessity. The dragons grow more restless by the day, and the heretics harry us nigh without cease. We have contended with such troubles for centuries, but there are limits to even our endurance. Yet as a pauper is loath to part with his meager possessions, the leaders of Ishgard are not wont to render up their trust to outsiders. But with perseverance on our part, they may yet be made to see the light. Nevertheless, one must take care when walking the road less traveled.
Wise words, Sir Emmerich. I shall make a point to remember them. I must apologize for my earlier outburst. I hope it will not sour our good relations.
Not at all. You but spoke from the heart. I trust you understand that at times, my duties may prevent me from meeting with you. On such occasions, my second-in-command will speak for me.
Lucia, at your service. Pray excuse our reticence. We are but wary of speaking too freely, lest our sentiments be made known to our enemies. Know that the Lord Commander and I are of one mind. For the sake of Ishgard, and of Eorzea at large, I pray our peoples can put aside their differences. Those who dwell in the past risk losing sight of their future.
Should aught befall one of our shipments, pray inform Lucia immediately. You may also relay to her any words you might have for me alone. Not being of Ishgardian birth, she owes no allegiance to any noble house, making her as near to incorruptible as one can find in my homeland. Suffice it to say, I trust her completely, and so may you. Which reminds me, Lord Orchefort, if you would be so kind?
Certainly.
In times such as these, trust is ever in short supply. Mayhap this will go some way to rectify the problem. The results of our investigation into the heretics' recent attacks, as well as our interrogation of the merchant you detained.
Sir Emmerich, I cannot thank you enough.
Think nothing of it. Ishgard may be many things, but it is no friend to Garlemald.
Did I not tell you to have faith, my friend?
Well, yeah. Just don't go praying too much. For one reason to celebrate, For one with reason to celebrate, Alphinaud looks rather green, eyes unclouded. It would seem we have much to discuss with our friends at the Rising Stones. If what you say is true, his heart's method of summoning Shiva defies all precedent. It necessitates a complete reappraisal of the primal threat and of our approach to combating it. Moreover, there are grave ramifications if word of this incident reaches Imperial ears. The Guardian Empire believes that the primals are an insufferable menace, that their mere existence is a threat to this very star. As such, they deem any action taken against the beast tribes to be justified by default. Imagine then if it become known that it was not only the beast tribes of Eorzea that could summon primals, but her civilized peoples as well. Any lingering objections to the Eorzean campaign would vanish overnight. Where before we had to contend with a single Imperial legion, we could well find ourselves facing the combined might of all Garlemald. But I speak unadvisedly. Come, Lahee, it's better that we continue this conversation in Mordona. Agreed. If there is one thing that can be said for Sir Aymeric, is that he understands how dangerous knowledge it can be in the wrong hands. We are but fortunate that this incident took place in so remote location. The truth should not be difficult to suppress, for now at least. Let us hope so. But yes, I have a heck of a story to tell. Hey, it's Trailer Guy. And there goes Trailer Guy. I do not fault Sir Aymeric for being less than forthcoming with his beliefs. Not even the Highborn are beyond the reach of the Inquisition. True, young leaders can be more amenable to new ideas. Then again, their lack of experience and influence can hinder their abilities to enact reforms. There is little fortune and far less fame in being a receptionist, but one must be realistic. Also, it would seem that I was grossly misinformed regarding the average earnings of a street performer. Why do you want to earn more money? Ooh, Mombrid is there. Ah, forgive me, Lahee. I thought I had prepared enough meals for everyone, but the others were most hungry. Our stocks of wine have nearly run dry. The Charlene Score is drinking us out of house and home. Oh, I see what's happening. Hey. What? What did you do is your own business. Don't say I didn't warn you. Try to thump on the table now, are we? Don't give up yet, boy. Ida, lining up. Hey, I just got to say here, pretty. You're alright. Okay. As if before practice, as if after practice, and all too often a sip during practice. I do believe Mom Brida is having quite the bad influence on you. Calm yourself, Goldenhead. It's just a little Yep, after practice, clears out your cobwebs, no end. She's been here for 5 minutes and she's running the place down. My goodness. We're about to becoming the Falling Stones.
Words cannot well express how glad I am to see you return to us hale and whole. Needless to say, I am most eager to hear your account of that which occurred in Kurthis, assuming you're ready to speak of it.
Time for some water for me? Oh, I'm more than ready.
Excellent. I shall summon the others at once.
Yeah. I've never seen something like that before.
Iceheart used her own body as a vessel for a primal soul?
Master Louisoir's writings make no mention of such a possibility. Can we be certain this entity was a primal?
As certain as we can be that good King Mogglmog the 12th was a primal, I should think. Both were ostensibly summoned.
Let's not quibble over definitions. Of more concern is the implication that Iceheart retained her will, even after she was possessed. We are talking about a mortal, wielding the power of a primal.
It can't possibly be that easy, can it? There must be some sort of sacrifice required. Or maybe she's just special?
What qualities this woman possesseth, I know not. But full sure am I that she was groomed for this role. Few are privy to the secrets of summoning, and but a single party standeth to profit from their dissemination.
Well, I wouldn't presume to comment on how the lass came to know about summoning, but I will say that what she summoned was a primal. The readings were the same, or near as damn it. Strange as it all sounds, it's really no different from what you've faced before.
Then mayhap it is time that we re-examined our previous encounters.
Pack your things, Ida. We're going back to Gridania.
Yes, sir.
About Iceheart's final words to you. Hear, feel, think.
Hydalin's catchphrase, yes.
Hydaelyn speaks to her as well.
Do you suppose she has the echo?
If Iceheart is blessed with the power of the Echo, she will doubtless have used it to further her goals. Or could it be that it was a revelation granted her by the Echo which first set her on this path? She did say that the Ishgardians were blind to the truth. Do you think she has knowledge of the origins of the Ishgardian-Dravanian War? It would do much to explain her unwavering conviction.
That one makes sense.
Did not the Lady Iceheart implore thee to seek the Keeper of the Lake? And did she not imply that in so doing thou wouldst come to see with eyes unclouded?
Midgard-Zoma was a king amongst kings who reigned for centuries on end. But he is dead and his wisdom lost to the ages. Unless the Ishgardians' fears are well-founded. It would seem we have yet another reason to stand watch over the Keeper of the Lake. For a mercy, we are well positioned to do so. Iceheart, Shiva, Ascians, and Midgard Zoma. I shudder to think how they're all connected.
I always like to check the rising stones. Tankard went right back to be plastered. The reason Royale. In Filia we discuss how to best proceed in light of the recent developments. I mean to score the annals of knowledge of Midgard Summer. Given his great age, I dare say he appears in more than a few... Do you hear that? The commotion outside? Which if out is a mess? Commotion? Where is... What is commotioning? Anything the matter? Lahee, 'tis well that you are on hand. We have a problem. Royale has escaped. What? It happened shortly after the motor flames took her into custody. She had been placed in a dungeon cell ahead of her coming trial, but apparently the accommodation was not to her liking. The turnkey was found slain along with 2 guards. Just plain she received inside help. Citizens report seeing Royale quitting the city via the Gate of Nod with a bloodied spear in her hand. She makes for Castle Meridianum, I am certain of it. With her fate in Eorzea as good as sealed, what recourse has she but to flee to her imperial masters? Even as we speak, Captain Ilbert and the First are upon Royale's heels. Pray make haste to Camp Blue Frog and join in the hunt. Camp Blue Frog? You got it. Hilbert, what's going on? My thanks for coming, Scion. I have spoken with the soldiers here. They say that Royale walked through the camp not a bell ago. Aye, she walked right through. You did not miss here. You have her all band's decision to keep the matter secret to thank for that. Bad for morale, he said. As a result, not a single flame in the garrison made any attempt to detain her. And so here we are. Royale must not be allowed to reach the Castle Meridianum. Let's run then. Or fly. I vote fly. Was that really necessary? I had better be compensated for the additional exertion you caused me. I have no clue what's going on here. To the cows, commence battle for the reason royale. Proceed. This wretch was with Royale. He threw himself at us, that his mistress might escape. She didn't blink when we cut him down, not even when he started screaming. No loyalty even to her own. The goddamn harpy. With me, Scion. We almost have her. Draw sword, open book! One royal alive, kill the rest for Eorzea. Enemy reinforcements, look sharp, man. Boy, there's a lot of them. How important was he for the Empire? Well, that was a lot. Bind her and do it tight. Yes, sir. Good work, man. She and her imperial cronies pushed us close, but we were better. Behold, a respected officer of the immortal flames. People look up to you as one of the Order founding members, one of its pillars. It saddens me to see how you falling so low. What would you know of low? You, spoiled little lordling who has never known any want. People such as you take wealth and birth for granted. You think it your God's given right to rule over others. You know naught of our plight, the injustice that we low-born guardians must endure. To the noble lords and ladies, we are not people, but resources to be consumed. I did what I had to survive, stealing, killing, even whoring myself. It is no fault of mine if fools imagine me a paragon when I join in the flames. To hear you tell it, one would think you're the only person to have suffered. In case you have forgotten, Realm himself was born into poverty, as was I. We live hand to mouth, with little more than the shirts on our backs. Hunger was a constant companion. Yet, neither did we bemoan our lot in life, nor did we begrudge the others their fortunes. We accepted the hand that we had been dealt, and played it to the best of our ability. Life was a battle, aye, but no matter what fate threw at us, we took it on the chin and came back for more. Everything we have, we fought for. How are we any different then? It's true that we were both mercenaries of low birth, and it's true that we both had our fair share of our struggles. But whereas I sold my sword, you, Marshal, you sold your comrades. If life has taught me one thing, is that you never betray your own. I would sooner cut off my own arm than raise a hand against a friend. But enough talk. You will return to Uda to face justice, and the people whose trust you have dragged through the gutter. I joined the Crystal Braves that I might strike a blow against the Empire. Those who cast their lot with Garlemald should expect no better treatment. Makes sense. We'll probably have opportunities to cast several blows against Garlemald. Not so much a hint of remorse. This is well that the sordid business is finally at an end. Agreed. A friend's betrayal cuts deeper than steel. We must hope that we have chosen our own allies more wisely than Realm chose his.
I've heard. Truly bothersome business. No, I do not foresee a problem on that front. The main concern is Reborn. There is no telling what the brute might do. Have the Blades watch him in the flames day and night. You may leave the Sultana to me. I shall personally attend her grace.
Sus.
Sever one of the East Aldenard trade routes. That ought to keep Lolorito occupied for a while. Nanamo Unamo. For my sake, pray be a good little Sultana to the last.
Like Royale, I once made my way as a mercenary. And like her, I did more than a few things I am not proud of. But never else did I betray my own, and there are depths to which a man should not sink. Agreed. I'm thankful you have your head in your place. It's strange how similar the stories of the Crystal Braves and the Flames are similar in some points. Make this at least it's different in another. You are trustworthy. Let us cling together. I often would ask another favor of you. Captain Newberg and I have a few questions for the Flame Marshal regarding the circumstances of her miraculous escape. When we have completed our interrogation, we shall take our findings directly to General Rauban, and that shall be the end of it. Our work here is done, my friend. My thanks. But I have one last task to you. Return to the Rising Stones and apprise me, Philia, of all that happened. I am aware that the antecedent held Eorzea at high regard. For better or worse, she wants to know how this day went. Very well. Tancred will need a new liver. I'm not sure I can summon one.
Welcome back, my friend. I have already received word from Alphino. To think that Flame Marshal Huayu was the Garlean agent. I know not what to say.
Huayu. Yeah, I wasn't pronouncing her name right.
Together with Reborn, Aline lent us much needed aid at the time of our Order's founding. She was particularly passionate about the need to tackle the primal threat. When we discussed the subject, her eyes fairly shone with determination. Whatever else she may have been, I choose to believe that it was her true self with whom I spoke then. But now is not the time to dwell on such matters. I have an important announcement to make regarding our effort to defeat the Ascians. We shall begin as soon as everyone is assembled. My thanks for coming, friends. Moonbreeder, the floor is yours.
By now, I'm sure you're all familiar with white auracite, the miraculous material that'll allow us to capture Ascian souls. Back at Snowcloak, we verified its ability to absorb vast amounts of ether. Alas, it leaves something to be desired in the area of stability. The stone can only store ether for a short while before expelling its contents.
In addition to auracite's inherent limitations, we must needs be wary of our enemy's strength. Our foe draweth upon an infinite wellspring of power. Even should we succeed in entrapping him, the stone will not long contain his wrath.
Meaning that, if we want to kill the swine, we'll have to be quick about it.
'Tis our belief that an Ascian soul may be permanently undone if smitten by a sufficiently concentrated burst of pure ether.
The only trouble is, we can't say for sure how concentrated the burst needs to be. Without knowing how much ether an Ascian soul is composed of, we're basically guessing.
Our sole clue lieth in thy struggle with Lahee.
During that encounter, Hydaelyn bid you forge what she called a Blade of Light, a weapon which took the form of a luminous stream of energy. Based on your description, we believe the blade with which you vanquished your foe was composed of ether.
And lots of it.
Admittedly, your victory proved ephemeral, as Lahee was able to use a crystal of darkness to flee into the space that lies between our world and the void. The fact remains, however, that Hydaelyn placed the means to destroy the Ascians in your hands. Be that as it may, it would be unwise to assume that she will do the same when we next encounter such a foe.
Quite so, my lady. We must needs find the means to forge our own blade of ether, one to equal that which Hydaelyn did benevolently bestow upon her champion.
That is all well and good, but it seems to me that producing such a blade will require a prodigious quantity of ether. Whence will it come, pray tell?
Oh, what if we had two pieces of white aurosite? One to trap the Ascian, and the other to store the ether for the blade.
Oh, nice try. But it's as I said, the stone won't hold ether for any length of time. We'd still need to collect the stuff there and then, sorry to say.
And therein lies the rub. Finding a way to create the blade whenever and wherever we choose.
It would seem more research is in order.
I'm going to linger a while, perform a few more tests on the aurosite. And I could do with some help. Eorzea, why don't you lend me a hand?
Mine apologies, but I am required at the Waking Sands.
Oh, come on,
Lady
Eorzea.
Minfilia hath given me sole charge of the premises. 'Twould be unseemly to leave them unattended.
Sole charge, you say? So you're basically alone there, then? Well, that settles it. I'll just have to come to you.
Bone Breeder, my hero.
While you were afield, word arrived from the Sharlayan motherland.
More
You will
news.
recall that a survey party was dispatched to investigate the incident at the Isle of Val. What they discovered was troubling, to say the least. According to the report, the Isle has been erased from existence. 'Twas as if a hole had been torn in the very fabric of reality.
Aye, yet the mystery endeth not with the Isle's disappearance. It hath come to light that a number of scholars in various other locales were reported missing at a similar juncture.
What's more, they all had something in common with the head of the students of Baldessian. Every last one of them was researching a phenomenon called dimensional compression, or the rejoining as the ancient texts call it. I'll be damned if that's a coincidence.
All indications suggest Ascian involvement. But I sense that a force greater still is at work. The entity the Dark Beings call the One True God. We must pray that my dear friend Kryl regains consciousness soon. If she bore witness to the Isle of Val's final moments, she may be able to shed some light on this mystery.
Let us hope.
Following the calamity, the forces of the 14th Imperial Legion entrenched themselves in strategic locations across Eorzea. So swiftly did they accomplish this, it was suspected that they had received help. To think that it came from Huayu, my right hand.
There is more. We have reason to believe that Huayu didn't deal exclusively with the 14th. She also answered to a higher authority in Garlemald. But this higher authority could not have been the Emperor. By consenting to the Media Project, Solus Zos Galvus showed himself to be more concerned about preventing the spread of primal influence than claiming Eorzea for the Empire. He would happily have seen the lot reduced to ash. We believe a number of high-ranking figures within the royal household were against the decision, but that they knew better than to oppose the Emperor openly. Of course, this didn't prevent them from making clandestine provisions, in which Huayu played a part.
Alas, these provisions did not prevent Dalamud from falling, and the ensuing chaos changed the face of the realm forever. Yet Eorzea survived. To all intents and purposes, the Meteor Project had failed, and the Empire was left to rue its lack of a decisive means to eliminate the primals. Until, that is, it stumbled upon the Ultima weapon.
Even before the accursed thing was dug up, it seemed to me the 14th had the might to overwhelm our weakened armies. Yet they chose to hide behind their walls. Why?
The Black Wolf was wary of making the denizens of Eorzea desperate, lest more primals emerge to bleed the land. The discovery of the Ultima weapon, however, emboldened him to resume his war of conquest in earnest.
But there was one in Garlemald who believed that Van Belsar's actions were premature. One who stood higher in the Imperial Army's chain of command. He ordered the Legatus to halt his advance, only to find that the Black Wolf had slipped its leash, and that the 14th now acted alone. In a bid to bring Van Belsar to heel, he used the agent he had planted in Ul'dah prior to the calamity to undermine the Legion's efforts.
A man who outranks Van Belsar, yet opposed the late Emperor's decision to annihilate Eorzea. This could only be the former High Legatus of the Garlean army, now known as Emperor Varus Zos Galvus. So he was Huayu's true master.
But one of several in actual fact. We've learned that even as Huayu served the Empire's interests, she sold Imperial secrets to a certain faction in Eorzea. In so doing, she helped to maintain the status quo, thus prolonging the conflict. Considering who stands to profit from war, it isn't hard to imagine who her other masters were.
Seven hells! You mean to say that she was a double agent?
Triple, if you consider her services to Van Belsar and the new Emperor as separate.
As neatly as these pieces seem to fit, one aspect of the puzzle remains unclear to me. By whose will was the Marshal feeding intelligence to the heretics? And try as I might, I fail to see how aiding their cause would profit either her Imperial or Monetarist masters. Could it be that another hand is at work here? If so, Huayu must be made to reveal whose it is.
Not only have I lost a trusted friend, now I must interrogate her as a stranger.
Not a pleasant task, I grant you, but a necessary one. Unless we weed out the ivy, root, stalk, and stem, it will simply grow back.
I know that full well. Those closest to Huayu have already been detained, and I will question them alongside her.
General, pray keep in mind that there may be unwitting abettors among them.
All will be treated fairly. On that you have my word. Those who are innocent have no cause to fear.
You have ever been a friend of truth, General. I hope the unpleasant task of weeding out falsehood will not detain you too long. Though it be for the sake of Eorzea, doubting one's comrades is poison to the soul. And with that, I take my leave.
All these years, I've been made to dance to their tune. How could you, Huayu? How could you side with them? Those cankers who take from this land and give naught in return, who use their power to disempower and grow fat while the people starve. I know you can hear me, monitor as scum. Your crimes will not go unpunished. One day I will purge this land of your sickness before the eyes of the 12. I swear it.
Go, Alban! You have my full support. You can ask the Warrior of Light tattoo. Can you do that in the real world as well?
I shall have no further need of you this day. Your Grace. I fear that not even mine own chambers shall remain private for long.
Has the situation grown so grim?
Ever since he proposed the Cardinal Reclamation Bill, Teleji Adeleji has risen to greater prominence upon the backs of impoverished refugees. The monetarists were ever united in their pursuit of profit, but the man's actions have torn a rift in their ranks. They snap at each other as rabid dogs. Yet now is not the time to be bickering among ourselves.
If this bickering is a threat to law and order, might you not have grounds to dissolve the Syndicate?
Would that the solution were so simple, Admiral. Alas, my moving to dissolve the Syndicate is certain to spark outrage among the influential merchant class, whom the Cabal represents. This would serve to exacerbate the current unrest, and peace would slip still further away. Be they rich or poor, natives or refugees, all who reside in Ul'dah have a right to pursue happiness. It is the duty of a ruler to protect this right.
Can I vote for Nanamo?
If I am to perform my duty, I must needs tread warily. It would not do to make enemies heedlessly. Were Lord Lolorito here, he would doubtless say that I have my head in the clouds.
A ruler is required to take a wide view. Try as we might to cater to all needs, some will inevitably be overlooked. As such, there shall ever be citizens who feel aggrieved. It cannot be helped. But as you have informed us, the monetarists take no view but their own. They hunger for power while the masses starve. In the absence of a common cause, it seems beyond any one individual to make Ul'dah whole.
And the presence of a Garlean agent within the Immortal Flames only makes matters worse. Even accounting for Ul'dah's historic reliance upon mercenaries, such a grievous breach of security is unprecedented. I fear this business will provide the monetarists with a rod to beat Rauban.
Eorzea can ill afford for the Immortal Flames to be dampened now. Ere long, the Garleans will turn their ravenous gaze toward our lands once more. If we are to resist their might, our nations must stand together. Yet for this to happen, our nations must be whole. Cannot be done to improve the situation in Ul'dah.
The true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her citizens. Alas, the citizens shall never know these things, so long as their lives are ruled by the ambitions of the few. The monetarists claim to represent the best interests of the people, but in sooth they desire only to manipulate them for their own selfish ends. For the government to serve the people, it must be formed of the people. For Ul'dah to move forward, it is not only the Syndicate that must be dissolved.
Nay, you jest.
My friends, it was for no other reason than to make known to you mine intent that I requested your presence here. When I make my declaration to the people, chaos shall inevitably ensue. As the last monarch in the line of Ul, I make unto you this request. Help Reborn to preserve order and protect the people. Forsake them, and you forsake yourselves. For a strong Eorzea will ever have need of a strong Ul'dah.
Your Grace, are you certain of this?
There is no other way. When the time is ripe, the nation shall become a true republic. Both royalists and monetarists shall cease to be. Ul'dah will no longer belong to kings or queens or merchant princes, but to her people. Reborn, forgive me for casting aside all that you have toiled for in my name. Beyond this gesture, I am powerless to help my subjects.
Strings of ice. Whew. Did I miss oh, icebreaker. No, snowclaw. Yeah, this patch was long as heck. It took 2 full streams basically. Holy crap. But yeah, the story is starting to get good. Good intentions. Infinity is considering which of her many responsibilities and her ultimate. Okay. But not now. Not now. I'm gonna end early today. Since we've reached the end of the patch. Yeah, it would take me what, 5 hours? Yeah. 5 freaking hours. If I were to do it in a single go. Plus the time I wasted with the timer event. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. Next Sunday at 7 PM I'll be playing more Vintage Story. And Final Fantasy XIV will be back next Monday and Wednesday at 8 PM Gentilas 3. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching. I am the Plane Shifter. He is Lahee Eshkree. Don't forget that I have a YouTube channel with all the VODs. And if you're watching on YouTube, that I stream live. All links are in the descriptions. We are phasing out. Bye!